I don't know who needed to hear this right this second, but I felt extremely called to record and just to speak from my heart, because I'm feeling something very deeply that I should share this message to anyone who needs to hear this right now. And that is to be patient with yourself. Be soft with yourself. Be present right now. You've gotten this far and you've gone through so much that if you were to tell people your darkest stories about what you've witnessed, what you've experienced, the nights where you couldn't fall asleep, if you were to tell people the things that you have experienced in your life, they'll be beyond shocked just by how you present yourself in society and how you present yourself every single day. And I know this will resonate to a particular group of people, because I know those ones that are consistent with my episodes, that have been here ever since my first video and truly resonate with my words. And the ones that have been my truest supporters. I obviously don't know you personally, but I just want to take the time to say thank you. I am so grateful to be able to have people that benefit from the words that I deliver and the advice that I give, because truly this is what my podcast is all about. It's about helping people. That's always been my thing, helping people. I get so much fulfillment just by helping people. That is my biggest form of fulfillment, is my podcast and the words that I say. Because I know that it comes from a genuine, real place. And every single episode that I've uploaded has been one that has came from my heart, truly and genuinely. So I know that what I'm about to say and the words that you've listened to so far will resonate to specific types of people, especially those that are really, really connected to themselves on a soul level. Those that actively change, actively grow. Every single day is a new day and a new chance for change. People that don't just stay in one place or in one emotion or just close themselves off, but people that radiate from an emotionally aware place. People that are really connected to themselves, that constantly want to be better every single day. So for those specific individuals, especially what you're doing right now, how much effort you are putting into yourself, into your growth, into your healing, just know that it's enough. It's okay to rest. It's okay to just sit down and not constantly think about the future. Even though, yes, it's great to want to better yourself and to want to be your highest self or your higher self every single day. to be a better version of yourself than your previous days. I understand, because I'm like that too. But you know that you sometimes, because you're someone that focuses and deeply cares about being a better individual to yourself, to showing up better for yourself, to constantly growing and glowing in every single aspect, in your physical aspect, in mental aspect, in your emotional aspect, and your spirituality as well, who you are as a soul. And I know you're someone that listens to a lot of self-help and self-love channels. And I know sometimes it gets overwhelming by how many channels there are right now. There's a lot of different accounts and wonderful accounts and genuine and authentic people that deliver with such authenticity. And it's great, but sometimes it's okay to just go within, to just listen to yourself before listening to other people, listening to your soul, listening to your body, not just constantly consuming stuff. And I know, because you're someone that deeply cares about educating yourself and becoming more emotionally aware, emotionally intelligent, becoming a more healthy, well-rounded individual, and becoming more secure within yourself and detaching from people and places and situations and outcomes. But sometimes you forget that it's okay to just stop and to just quiet the noise and to just rest and to just take it day by day, not by constantly being in this future-oriented place where your mind is very, very centered to the future, where you're not actually living in your present moment. And I know when you're on this journey to exponential growth in all aspects of your life, this doesn't have to be catered towards just finances or your success or your career. This is exponential growth in you, in yourself, in your being, which is the highest form of growth, right? And that is something that we should actively strive for. So, especially when you're on that specific personal journey, it can feel very lonely. It can feel like you're the only person in this world that is struggling. It can feel like there's no one by your side. And I understand, especially if you've had people, especially when you've become more centered towards yourself and becoming more invested to yourself. I know that since becoming more whole, since focusing on yourself more, catering to your needs, loving yourself like how you want to be loved and how you love other people, because the highest form of love is the love that is within you. For you to pour into other people, you need to be whole first. Your cup needs to be full, because you can't pour from an empty cup, because then you'll have nothing left to give to yourself. And you are the most important person on this earth. Let me tell you again, you are the most important person on this earth. That isn't to say that other people aren't important, but they're not more important than you, because you came here separately and you will leave separately. So that is something that you need to admit to yourself. That is something that you need to actually implement. Keep saying that, keep affirming that to yourself, that I am the most important person on earth. That doesn't mean arrogant. That doesn't make you arrogant. That just means that you are, instead of centering other people, you are centering yourself. You are the center, because you are the center of your reality, right? The more and more you give to yourself, the more love, the more care, the more respect you give to yourself, the more you will receive from the universe and from God. Because you're making it known that you're not attaching yourself to worldly desires or this world or people or outcomes or environments. You are becoming whole within yourself to be able to receive everything that you desire and everything that is meant for you. So especially when you're on this path, it will feel like the most loneliest stage of your life ever. And I speak from experience, and I'm currently experiencing this, which is why I feel so called to share this with other people. Because I know that the hurt and the loneliness that I feel within, I know that I'm going through something that is very specific that I don't share with people because it's very personal to me. And I'm someone that has this specific belief where I won't talk about the things that I want to achieve or my future goals, my future outcomes, my dream reality or future projects, right? Until that is achieved, you know? I'm not going to go out here and share people what I'm working on when it hasn't even become in the physical realm. I won't do that, and you shouldn't do that as well. The more silent you are, the more likelihood it will become and manifest, right? Because if you're out here telling people that, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be this, right now I'm working on this, I'm working on this, and just giving people constantly, you know, the evidence of what you're working on, or what you're doing, or what you plan to achieve, that is literally momentum flushed down the drain. People don't need to know that. Your private plans that you have for your future and for your present moment, that should only be said to yourself. That's it, because you are the one that is on this journey. These other people are not going to do it for you. You know? Yes, I understand it must be tempting. It might be tempting to tell other people, but trust me, it's better to stay silent, especially about your private goals, especially about those goals, those specific things that you want to achieve, or the future life that you want to have. Keep that within yourself. Keep that private. And I know even keeping it private can make it feel even more lonely, but trust me, the people that have exited from your life, the friendships and the relationships that are, you know, that are collapsing right in front of your eyes, even when there isn't even any problems or anything to go by. Sometimes, especially the most confusing friendship breakups or relationship endings, are the most hurtful, because you don't actually know what happened. You know, whether the other person is not giving you that communication or has basically just left out of your life or has slowly drifted away from you without you even knowing why. And you being a person that wants to communicate these kind of things, you know, you're totally fine and you accept it if people don't like you anymore, or they don't want to be your friend, or they don't want to be in your life, or they actually don't want to be in this anymore. You would rather people tell you than to leave you confused, than to have you chasing them, or have you questioning, right? Or having these constant questions come up in your head where, what did I do? Did I say this? Did I do enough? But it's like, sometimes the most liberating experiences that you will have and most peaceful, because you don't have to think about anything. You don't have to constantly think about this problem or this argument that happened. But you can just accept it, because a friend doesn't need to argue their way to exit your life. And I understand. Communication is everything. You know, feeling confused is the worst thing ever, because especially when you're an overthinker as well, it's really challenging to overcome that. But trust me, you have to accept this, because, you know, it was bound to end either way. Would you rather have ended in an argument, or would you, you know, rather had that relationship or friendship end, you know, from thin air, basically from nothing, right? I would rather the second option, even though the first option is easier. The second option gives me more focus on myself, because instead of overthinking, which is the first thing that you will do, but instead of overthinking, you are able to pour into yourself, right? And these experiences, especially the ones that don't end in a fight, they are the ones that will grow you the most, because that teaches you that you should never depend on anyone for anything. You should only depend on yourself, but especially you should only be dependent on your creator, which is God. Only be dependent on the creator of this universe, because the creator of this universe will give you everything that you want and everything that you desire, or everything that you need, right? Because sometimes the things that you want or the things that you desire might not be good for you. So these friendships that you're clinging on to, these potential romantic interests that you're clinging on to, or you're fantasizing about, or you're constantly daydreaming about them, when you actually don't know if they are good for you. You know, you don't actually know the person personally, right? The more you learn that nothing on this earth is permanent, everything is temporary, why should you cling on to things that will end eventually? And that is not to say that you shouldn't love or that you shouldn't care about people. That is not what this message is about. This message is about pouring into yourself first, attaching to yourself. That's it. And what you need, right? And what your wants are and your needs are. And asking yourself those questions of what it is that I actually look for in a friendship, in a relationship, what it is that I don't look out for, what are my red flags, what are my green flags, that sort of thing, and fully integrating your shadow, because I'm telling you, the most thing that will grow you on a completely new level, where you will feel so, I don't know how to describe this. You will feel like you're on cloud 9, because the people that have integrated their shadow, and I mean their shadow, not just answering those shadow work questions, sitting in yourself with the darkness that is in you, sitting with your emotions, letting all emotions and all thoughts and all worries and doubts come to the surface, feeling any emotion that you want to release in that moment, is the most profound, life-changing thing ever. It's crazy how much a person will change when they integrate their shadow, when they actually go in. Because I'm telling you, the more you push things under the rug, the more you avoid conflicts, difficult conversations, life in general, people, commitments, the bigger they actually come, the more difficult they will become. When you deal with it in the moment, but especially your emotions, allow yourself to feel whatever you need to feel. And especially when you don't feel like feeling that emotion, you have to be able, so you can actually recover and actually heal, is for you to cry it out, to let it out, to let it out to yourself, to write it on paper, to cry it out, to feel it out, to just sit with your emotions, not forcing yourself to feel or think otherwise. I don't care if it takes 5 hours. I don't care if you can't go to bed at night. I don't care if it takes you days, weeks, months, years to heal. But I'm telling you, you will suffer in the end when you don't face your own problems. No one else is going to fix your problems for you. No one else is going to feel these emotions for you. And I get it, when you have empathetic people around you, you sort of depend on them to feel your emotions, or to, for you to constantly, ask for solutions or ask them to fix or to advise you in some way. But those people also get drained. As an extreme empath, I'm telling you, the most exhausting thing is when people take my empathy for granted, because it has happened time and time again. And I'm not talking about once or twice, I'm talking about every single time where I know the codependent people that I am experiencing, right? Or I witness, right? Or I observe how dependent they are on other people to heal their problems, or to constantly fix their life, or to constantly tell them what to do. These people cannot take their own advice. They have to ask for everyone's advice before even doing a simple thing, right? No matter how small it is or big it is, these people will constantly depend on others to fix their problems. And I'm telling you, that is the most draining person ever. As a person that constantly listens or has listened to these people, or constantly gave these people advice to the point where I can no longer take it anymore, because you realize these people, especially when you're someone that is, the therapist friend, right? Even if you don't even put that label on yourself, but that is genuinely how you show up as in your life and in other people's lives, right? Because you constantly care, you care a lot, and you want to help people because you've experienced this, right? And you have this wisdom, right? Which is why they're coming to you in the first place. So sometimes it's hard to say no, but sometimes, recently I discovered that, well, I didn't discover, I rediscovered it actually. I realized and I remembered that I actually have free will, that I can actually be like, I don't want to listen to this. I don't want to listen to your problems. Obviously, I don't need to be harsh, but it's like, at this point, there are actually like really selfish people out there, and I hate to even bring this kind of energy to this whole message, because that is not even like the whole message, but I'm just gonna like say it right now. There are so many selfish people in this life, and not to say that all people are like that, but I'm saying I've witnessed a lot of selfish people in my own life as well. Well, they'll constantly just pour their problems onto me, like without even asking me like, how am I doing? Or they'll make me seem like that. They'll make it seem like we're gonna do something else, right? And then they come to me with their problems, and it's like, is this what's going to happen every single time I sit with this person is they're just going to drain me constantly, or just, you know, rely on me for emotional support. Like, am I this person's emotional safety net? Am I this person's therapist? Like, what is this? Right? Because I would like give this person the time of day, right? And I'll be like, okay, maybe it's not going to be like that. My intuition thing is, my gut would tell me, do not sit with this person. Do not like stay with this person for long, right? Like, if they ask you, uh, you know, or if they want to, for example, sit and chat, but you know that any single time you come out of that chat, quote unquote chat, but it's actually a therapy session that I unwillingly agreed to, it will just be a whole draining process of me being drained, of me not feeling alive, you know? You have to recognize the energy vampires in your life and just remove them. Please remove them. As someone that, I don't want to diagnose myself, I don't want to but I've always felt like that I have anxiety. I don't want to self-diagnose myself. I'm not those TikTok comments that constantly self-diagnose. Any single time something happens, they're like, oh, I have OCD, oh, I have ADHD. Oh. But it's like, with my personality type especially, and my brain is so complex that it's not even complex, it's just chaos, right? My brain is so chaotic. My brain is so complex in such a beautiful and profound way, but in such a deteriorate. Okay, I'm trying to say the word. It deteriorate. Guys, please. Do you guys know what word I'm trying to say? Deteriorating. I forgot how to say it. Okay. It's destabilizing, basically. Because I don't get sleep at night because of how much I think. But it's not even I try to think, or I think my thoughts. I don't even know if that makes sense, but my mind is just constantly on, you know? Just to summarize, my mind is constantly on. So with someone that has constant thoughts, constant every second, I've never had a clear mind. I've never lived with a clear mind. I've never experienced what it feels like to have a clear mind, or clear train of thoughts, right? Because it's so messy in there. And a lot of it, you know, is to do with the fact that I constantly evolve. I constantly change. But not even on a normal level. Like on a like, I realize myself that I am like more mentally mature than my actual age, right? Because I've had so many profound moments, and I will say it, I'm a very wise person. And I think for a while, like whenever people will tell me, wow, you're so wise, you have so much wisdom, I'll be like, yeah. Like, just basically like, you know, not accept those compliments, not even just not accepting it, but just like downplaying my wisdom. But it's true. I live in my own mind. I talk to myself every single day to the point where I get surprised by my own thoughts, right? Or by like how I react to situations, or just by the realizations that I have every single day. This is not like a one-time thing, because I'm constantly changing, and I advocate for my change, and I'm so open to change, and I grow every single day. So a year doesn't go by where I'm the same person. Like, I am not the same person I was last year. I'm not the same person I was 2 months ago. I'm not the same person I was a month ago. I'm not the same person I was a week ago, because I'm constantly changing, but not even in a way that it's like on a subconscious level that I change. I don't even like, sometimes it's not even a conscious thing of me changing. It's like a sixth sense that I have in my system. And I'm just wired that way. My brain is wired that way to constantly change. But sometimes I change too much where it's like I'm having these thoughts and experiences and wisdom and intuition and gut feelings and predictions about the future that haven't even happened yet. But it almost feels like I'm too developed, and this is the first time me saying this. So for people to hear this from me the first time, I swear to God, if I get any replies saying, who does this person think she is? This is not even about getting praised, because I don't get any sleep at night because of how much I think, and the thoughts that I have. And because of how advanced I am psychologically, this is not a gift. Of course, it's a gift and it's a blessing, but I didn't pop out the womb that way. Why am I like this? Because every single day and every single moment that my soul felt crushed, taken advantage of, experienced such saddening experiences, right? I've had so many different experiences and I've experienced a lot. Physically, mentally, emotionally. Not because of me, but by outside external circumstances as well and external people. But in those moments, the easiest thing that I could have done was to be a victim or to victimize myself or to blame other people. Even if I wasn't to blame, but living in that, oh, this person did this to me. I was wronged in this way, right? But I did the most hardest thing, which is to heal myself. And I don't think people realize how difficult it is to heal from things that you didn't cause. To heal from experiences, from traumas, from emotional wounds that you didn't cause. I don't think people realize how much it takes from you on a soul level. But I knew I am not what happened to me. And I know those people that hurt me, I never want to become anything like them. And I know that I never want to be that person that hurt me, or those people that hurt me. I don't look up to them in any way. Instead, I look for, like, when I get inspiration, they are what not to do, basically. Not what to do, what not to do. So I've had to learn from those experiences and basically parent myself, be my own parent, be my own therapist, and love myself so deeply, where whenever those darkest moments inside of me come to surface, I don't shame myself. I don't feel guilty. I don't hate myself for those dark pieces inside of me, or those scars, or those wounds, because I know that that is within me. That is a part of me. And I know that those darkest parts of me deserve to be seen and loved and cared, because those parts of me don't make me a bad person, but make me a person that has experienced hurt and that knows what it feels like to not have any control, or to not feel free in my own environment or my own space or myself. I know what it feels like. I have experienced it for many years. So I think, and if this resonates with you, if you feel it within your body that, wow, this hits deep. And the beautiful part about giving advice on social media is that it will always touch the right people. That it doesn't matter how many views I get, how many likes I get, how many subscribers, how many people listen to this. I know that it will go out and it will reach a specific group of people. That the people that do listen to this are people that truly needed to hear this. So I'm here to tell you that it's okay to just rest. It's okay to just not worry about the future. And maybe some of you aren't even worried about the future, but you're in a place that you don't actually want to be in environmentally. You might be in a country that your soul is not aligned with, and you feel suffocated because you know that there is a specific country that you're meant to go that you can't help but feel is meant for you because you feel it. You don't feel like you belong in wherever you are right now in this world. So listen to that. If you know within your gut and within your soul that you are meant to be somewhere else, or you are meant to receive something else, or you are meant to have something else, stick to those visions. Don't tell them to people because some people won't understand, right? But just because they don't understand doesn't mean that that is not meant for you. Because every single person living has their own experiences, has their own gut instincts, has their own places that are meant for them, experiences that are meant for them. Sometimes what is good for another person isn't good for you. And that's the beautiful thing about humans and life in general. Everyone experiences something that is personal to them. And especially when you're someone that is so open to new experiences and you just open your heart to new things, new surroundings, new environments, opportunities, growth, learning, knowledge, that kind of thing. And you feel so stuck in your present moment because nothing is actually moving, nothing is actually happening, even though you feel like you are ready or you can't take it anymore because you know that you don't have the momentum to even achieve your highest dreams of yours because you're not where you want to be. You're not where you're not in the place that drives your soul, that lightens and fulfills your soul. But trust me, even if you're not there right now, trust that you will be there eventually, when the time is right and when you're meant to receive it, and it will happen in the most profound, grand way possible. So trust that whatever you're meant to have will happen. Whatever you're meant to receive will happen. Whatever partner, whatever spouse, husband, wife you're meant to receive, specific people that you have in mind, if they are meant for you, they will come. Timing, proximity, and alignment is everything. These are the three things that you can't control, but just happens. Timing, you can't control timing. But think of it as a profound experience. I know I've said the word profound a lot. But think of it as divine, like divine, because it is divine. Timing is divine. You can't control it, but sometimes like the synchronicities that happen with timing and with people entering your life, right, where you feel like that it's divine timing, even videos that come on your feed that speak to you on such a deep personal level, that is also divine timing too. So instead of constantly waiting for your miracle to happen, that is, let me just get into this. That is the biggest mistake. Waiting for your miracle to happen, it's basically like putting yourself up for failure, because you're constantly waiting. For you to receive your miracle, you're not going to be waiting for it. Your miracle will come when you actually become the person that is aligned and ready to receive it. How do you make yourself ready? By looking on the things that you are attaching, detaching from all people, places and situations and outcomes. Okay? Being so invested and focused in yourself that you don't have time for those energy vampires that are in your life. First of all, why are they in your life? Just limit as much interaction as you can as possible, and you will know the energy vampires that are in your life. Look at the people that drain your energy and the people that actually give you energy, and go towards those people. Go towards those people, but specifically in this specific period of your life of change and transformation and alignment, right? And being your highest self, and on that specific journey, right, of going to a specific destination, taking a specific career path, creating something that is so massive, right? Whatever aligns to you, the best thing you can do is to pour in yourself, to be the person that is so abundant that just attracts blessings over and over again, that constantly attracts abundance and money and fulfillment. It just attracts all good in this life, right? But you have to be the person to attract that. And only you can fix your life. No one else can fix it for you. There's so much advice that a person can take, but you guys need to realize that you need to stop constantly searching for advice. The advice is already within you. The wisdom, the knowledge is already within you, but you have to go inward. You have to fully be in your soul. Of course, you are a soul, right? That is who you are. You are a soul before a body. Your body is not who you are. Your soul is who you are, right? So, you have to be deeply connected to your soul, and there are many different ways to do that. So just sit with yourself and be present. Allow yourself to just be, not constantly hustling, because the thing is, when you are actually present and you know that you did the best that you could do, you know that you put the effort in and you put the time in, and I know there might have been a point in your life where you were constantly desperate, or you might have been depressed at some stage of your life because you put so much work and you were confused on why that specific outcome didn't happen when you put all of that work and all of that energy into it. But the thing is, for you to actually receive the biggest blessings in your life is not for you to constantly do, but it's for you to be. It's for you to allow yourself to be that person that receives it, that, ties the camel and leaves it, just release the reins, right? Because there are things that happen that are out of our control. But how peaceful is that? Imagine if we controlled the universe. Imagine if humans dictated what happened to other humans. No one would survive. no one would survive. No one would have the life that is actually best for them, because we don't know what is best for us. And for us to think that we do is it's just, it's not realistic, because you're the one that's going to suffer by thinking that you know how your life is going to turn out. You actually don't know. You actually don't have that control. But how liberating is that? How peaceful is that? Because you know that initially, the only thing that you need to do is to do what is within your control, to do your part, to put the effort, to put the work, and then just let go. Let go of the outcome, release any expectations that might happen, let go, stop gripping onto it so hard, because the more you grip onto things, or the more you chase people, the more they run away from you. If you actually want to attract a person, you stop you stop chasing them altogether. And this is not just about attracting people, this is about attracting opportunities, attracting experiences, attracting your biggest blessings, right? Your biggest blessings won't come if you are constantly attached, because what happens if you receive that and then something happens? You will completely collapse. You'll fall into pieces. And the thing is, we overestimate ourselves to the point where we think that we're ready for something, but we know that subconsciously, we know, because we always feel it in our gut, we know that on some level we are actually not ready to receive it. But our ego thinks that we are ready, because it's out of desperation. It's out of not surrendering. It's out of exhaustion, right? Especially if you're in a dark place mentally, or especially if you have a lot going on right now, right? It's very normal to feel exhausted and feel like it's not going to happen. But just because it's not happening in the physical realm does not mean that it's not happening behind closed doors in the unseen. Because us as humans, we don't have control of the unseen. We don't know, the unseen. We just have to believe the unseen. We don't know what happens behind closed doors, but we know that eventually we come out of every single problem. Just look back at every single thing that you've experienced that you thought that you couldn't survive. Take this moment to truly be present with that feeling. I want you to truly feel these emotions of feeling proud of yourself. And I want you to hug yourself so tightly, pat yourself on the back, to just hug yourself and to say to yourself that I am so proud of you. You are stronger than you think. You are more powerful than you think. You are more patient than you think. Because after everything that has happened, you're still here listening to this, because something inside of you knew that you deserve everything that you want and more. You are deserving of the life that you envision for yourself. Not only that, you deserve even bigger and better. Just because it hasn't happened doesn't mean that it won't happen. Trust the timing. Trust that it will happen in the most perfect way possible. Just let go. Let go completely and watch your life transform inside out. Watch yourself transform internally. And I know that I've changed so much, and I look at myself and I just think it's actually insane, because I know what I have experienced. I know that there are things that people don't have no idea. no idea that I haven't told anyone the things that I've witnessed in my life and the things that I've experienced. Because I know, they will look at me differently, right? And they'll be shocked because of how positive I am and because of how pure-hearted and kind I am and caring I am, that if I were to tell people what I've gone through, no one would believe me, because it's not even no one would believe me. No one would believe me in the sense that they see me physically and how I present myself, because I'm someone that's very good at hiding my emotions. Not even just hiding, because the thing is, I'm the type of person where, yeah, of course, it's good to vent, but you know those people that it's better, like they cope life better by fixing their own problems. You know what I mean? Because I know that at the end of the day, I fix my own problems every single day, right? Like, it's not even that I don't want to tell people, it's just the fact that I have literally survived everything that I've gone through. You know, I have gone through all of that because of how invested I am in myself, because of how connected I am with my soul. So for me, it would be a waste of time to tell people how I'm feeling about what I'm going through, right? Because I know that every single thing that I've experienced, I let it out to myself, right? And it just, within days, I feel much better. But when you're someone that um, depends on other people for advice, yes, it can be a good thing, but trust me, like, uh, the most growth that you will experience is the growth within. So go within, go deep within. And yeah, I think that's everything that I wanted to say. And I genuinely hope to post this, because the thing with these kind of things that I get, these callings, right? I can't go to sleep at night knowing that I didn't record this in some way. Even if I haven't, because there are many things that I have recorded, right? That I have in my notes, that I haven't posted yet. But I know that I had to record it either way, either for myself or either for other people, or both, right? But I can't go to sleep knowing that there's something inside of me, because these things, right, that happen inside of me, and it's almost like it's um, divinely guided, like divinely like put into my mind to be like, I feel so called to say this right now. This is not even funny. Like this is not like, I can't. Like there's no time for me to think or to just be like, oh, I can't be asked. But yeah, I know that this is a long video, but genuinely, I just felt very called, because I'm the type of person that listens to these kind of videos, and you know what I'm talking about, especially those people that talk a lot about, healing and self-help and spirituality and that kind of thing, and like souls in general. I listen to those videos, and it's crazy how much those videos help me. It's crazy the words that they say, even if it was published like a month ago or 3 months ago or a year ago, and it just now it would come on my feed, and it would be like, this message is for you. The title would be like, this message is for you. And I listen to it and I click on it, and every single video that I have listened has touched my heart so deeply, and it has completely changed my perspective. Not even just changed my perspective, but just made me, um, you know, feel more alive within myself and trust myself more. And it's like a confirmation, it's like a sign, right? So this could be a sign for you, this could be your sign to keep going, but also to rest, to know that what you've done is enough. You don't need to overextend yourself to receive a person, an outcome, an experience, a blessing. None of that. You just have to show up as you, as your authentic self, and just witness those experiences and people and opportunities come to you like that without you even doing anything. This is your time to just sit back, release the reins, You've tied your camel, sit back and just know that your future and your destiny is being hold on. In these moments, I sometimes wish that I had a dictionary right in front of me. Your future and your destiny is being prepared and orchestrated in the most divine way possible. So just trust in you, trust in God, trust that everything that is meant for you will happen. So yeah. Thank you so much for listening. And if you stayed until here, I just want to say that you are extremely loved. You matter. You are perfect. Just by you existing, you matter. Not by what you've done, not by what you've achieved, but you, your authentic self, your soul. Your soul is so beautiful. And you are loved by many people. Not just by that, but the most highest form of love is to love yourself. So do that, my friend. Do that. And just trust in yourself and in your dreams and in your goals, because your dreams and your goals and the life that you envision for yourself, these specific details, even the visualizations that you have before you sleep, and the dreams and the goals that you have for yourself, they weren't planted there for no reason. There is a reason for you having these goals, or for you having these gut feelings in yourself that this is what I'm meant to have. So trust that it will unfold even better than you ever expected. I love you, and I'm so blessed to even have you as my listener. And come back to this message any single time you feel like you need to hear it again. I'm always here. I'm always open. If you want to reach out to me privately, please do. Please don't. You don't even need to question. I'm here. I'm open to receiving all types of messages, all types of conversations, all types of situations that you may be dealing with. Because every now and then it's good to lean on someone else. And it's okay to ask for help. So remember that. Thank you so much for listening. Good night. Good morning. Wherever you are, just know that you are important.